Hi. It's Sally here again. I am back to review the popular product called Yeast Infection No More. You'll find all my thoughts outlined in the video. In this video you're going to find a little bit of information about what you can expect from the product, some of the pros and cons, as well as my overall thoughts on it. Here's our test. Enjoy! Yeast Infection No More by Linda Allen is a very popular guide, which claims to help you getting rid of your yeast infection naturally in just 12 hours. Now, let's find out what exactly is Linda Allen's yeast infection system and if her yeast infection cure is really for you or not. Yeast Infection No More, created by Linda Allen, a woman who suffered from yeast infection for years. Yeast Infection No More is a system, which teaches you how to treat yeast infection naturally. Linda Allen's Yeast Infection Guide is basically a result of years of research on websites, medical journals, articles, books, medical textbooks, and also consults with doctors from many places around the world who specialize in this condition. In her yeast infection book, Linda Allen shares her step-by-step system to cure yeast infection naturally, and according to her statements it's going to take only 3 days. I can't go too deep and reveal too many information about the Yeast Infection No More guide because it is copyrighted. However, in brief, here are the chapters of the yeast infection book and the main things that you will find inside this guide. Linda Allen starts her Yeast Infection No More book with very important basics about yeast infection, such as the symptoms of yeast infection, what causes yeast infection and why yeast infection tends to recur in most women. After this important overview, Linda Allen explains in her Yeast Infection Guide many things about antibiotics and why antibiotic treatment is not able to successfully treat this type of vaginal infection for many women. After the first 2 chapters of the Yeast Infection No More guide comes the most important part of Linda Allen's yeast infection book, the 3 step-by-step system to permanently cure yeast infection, using some of the most easily obtainable ingredients. In the next chapters of her Yeast Infection No More book, Linda Allen provides many other useful tips on lifestyle changes that you must make in order to cure your yeast infection symptoms fast, naturally and permanently. The Yeast Infection No More system offers permanent solution. This is a fact that 77% of the women who suffer from yeast infection see a reoccurrence of the disease again. Sadly, traditional antibiotics given by doctors are not treating the main causes of the yeast infection problem, and other prescription drugs such as sprays, douches and powders kill both the bad and good bacteria, which upset the natural balance of bacteria that is needed by your body. That means your body stays with no defense when yeast returns, and that is why most women with yeast infection get an even worse reoccurrence of the infection within 3 months. Yeast infection combats this problem by using only 100% natural methods which help your body achieve the right balance and helps getting rid of only the bad bacteria. One of the best things about the methods inside the 3 Days to Permanent Yeast Infection book is that not only do they eliminate yeast infection permanently, they also increase your overall health in general. In her yeast infection book, Linda Allen uses a multifaceted approach, and not only does she provide fast and simple strategies for quick relief from your yeast infection symptoms, but she also gives cast iron ways of enhancing and supporting your body's own beneficial bacteria through lifestyle and diet changes. The great part about the yeast infection system is that you won't find any suggestions for pills, prescriptions or any harmful medications in Linda Allen's Yeast Infection No More book. Another thing that I really liked about the yeast infection product is that for a limited time Linda Allen offers lifetime customer support for all of her customers. I personally found this customer support to be very useful, and in my opinion it's great that when you have any questions you can always send an email and get helpful response very fast. The Yeast Infection No More main book comes with 4 great bonus guides: Optimal Diet Secrets, Rapid Stress Relief, All Natural PMS Relief, and Natural Yeast Infection Relief. I personally think that the Rapid Stress Relief and Natural Yeast Infection Relief guides are very important, and by understanding these 2 aspects you will actually learn how to prevent yeast infection from hitting you again much better. The Yeast Infection No More Guide comes with full 60 days money back guarantee from Linda Allen, and if you are not completely satisfied with the results of the yeast infection system, you will get your money back. In my opinion, only those persons who are very confident that their product will be genuinely liked by their customers and fit their needs perfectly can offer this kind of money back guarantee for so many weeks. There's a good chance that you could find some of the information available to you in the Yeast Infection No More book if you were willing to research on your own and spend days or even weeks to find similar information on the internet. In all honesty, Linda Allen's claim that you will be permanently rid of your yeast infection in just 3 days with her yeast infection system is a bit of an exaggeration, and I don't think that it's possible. However, from my experience and from what I've read online, most of the users seem to find themselves facing at least some relief by that point, with the majority being rid of their yeast infection problem after about 1 week. To get the best results from the Yeast Infection No More program, you will have to purchase side natural ingredients just like any natural treatment guides out there. However, the good news is that you won't blow a hole in your purse, and in fact, some of the ingredients recommended in the Yeast Infection Guide only cost pennies, and they are easily found at your local grocery shop. Overall, there is no doubt that Linda Allen's Yeast Infection No More book is very powerful system and one of best natural cures for yeast infection available online. This is a very solid, easily understood, and straight to the point sort of guide that offers permanent solution without any pills, prescriptions or any harmful medications, and overall I am very happy that I found Linda Allen's Yeast Infection book. It's true that there is a bit of marketing hype around the Yeast Infection No More book, and like I told you before, the claim that you will be permanently rid of yeast infection in only 3 days is a bit of an exaggeration. However, the good news I can tell you about the Yeast Infection No More book is that I saw drastic improvement in less than a week when following Linda Allen's yeast infection system, and so far, it has been about 5 months now, my yeast infection has not come back to bother me again. Just as any natural treatment, the Yeast Infection No More 3-step system is not going to work in 100% of the cases, and no one can promise that the same will happen for you, but with a very high success rate, all natural methods, and especially the full 60 days money back guarantee, I believe that the Yeast Infection No More guide is definitely one of your best bets. Thanks to Linda Allen and her Yeast Infection Guide, it is now possible for you to join 1000 as of women and to get rid of your yeast infection permanently, naturally, and with no risk at all, starting from today. Well, only you can make it happen. If you're ready to try the program, you can get started by simply clicking on the link in the description below, articletrafficlink.com/yeastinfectionnowmore, to learn all of the details about the program. Well, that's all for now. Thanks for checking out my review. Wishing you the best. See you next time.